Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace an old plug socket with a new one, especially if it comes with something like USB or USB-C. I like to do this for all my rental properties to just add that bit of extra convenience for the tenant. Let's get to it. When working with electricity, it's always safety first, so make sure that you do check whether the socket is live or not before you do any work. So I've got a check plug here, and this tells me that this socket is on and live. So the first thing I'm going to do is go switch off the power. Cool, so the power's now off, and I can take off the plug with the two screws on the left and right hand side. So you just screw this all the way out. You need a flathead. Pulling it out, what you should find behind it are three types of wire: your earth wire, your neutral, and your live. Now what I've got here is my live testing screwdriver, and by holding the end I can put it to a live circuit and it will tell me with a red light whether it's on or not. Here's an example of me testing one that is live. So that is not live because the pen isn't lighting up as red. Now, so for this socket in particular, this is actually part of the ring main, and this is something that's quite common in the UK. So one of each of these wires will be coming from the previous socket, and the other of each of these wires will be going to the next socket in the room. Now what's recommended, and what you might find behind your socket, is single wires of each of these. But you begin by just taking off each of these wires. So inside the socket, there'll be screws like this one here, and then you unscrew that and it releases the tension on the two wires. So I'm going to do that for each of them. But now that you've released all the wires, you can take away the old plug and throw it away, or recycle it. And the next thing to do is take your new plug and just work out where all of these cables need to go. So I can see on the left here, it is the live signified by an L, which is the red cable. And we've got the neutral, which is signified by the blue here, and the N. And finally we've got the earth, which is the yellow and green. And that can be on both the left or the right, it doesn't really matter. But considering that we've got them next to the neutral, I'm going to put them into this one on the left. So you can begin by loosening off the ones which you're going to insert. And I tend to start with stiffer cables first to hold the weight of the plug. And I will begin by putting the lives into the live hole. And then you screw up the tension. And you want to make sure that this little grub screw here is clamping down on both of those wires, making sure that they can't come out. So I'm pulling on them, making sure that they can't leave accidentally. Because you can create a short circuit if one of these live cables touches any of this earthing metal. So next up is the neutral. I just double check, yep, can't pull that out. And then finally are the two earths. Great, so they're not going anywhere either. And that's it. That's replacing the plug socket. Now when you're pushing it back in, you want to make sure that you're folding these wires in a neat way, where they're not going to pinch against anything as they go back against the wall. Especially, which I found out from my personal experience, try not to pinch this live cable between where the left and the right screws go into the back box. So just making sure they stay out of the way, push it in nice and neat, and we can put back in the left and the right holding screws. The final step is to test that it works. So plug back in my check plug, turn it on. Nothing yet because the power's not on. And I will go turn the power back on. And as explained in the diagram, 3 constant lights means that it's okay. So this now works. So there you have it. In just a few minutes, you changed a horrible old plug socket into a nice new one with some modern conveniences too. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. On my channel, you can find lots of videos on property investment, DIY tips, and I'll link a video here going through how I find properties to invest in. Catch you next time.